Welcome to r/LegalAdvice, where we read surprisingly interesting stories that don't end in a cliffhanger, I promise. If you are new around here, please feel free to subscribe to join our awesome community, and without any further ado, let's dive right in. Amazon delivered my expensive product without honoring signature delivery and it got stolen. So this is the first time I have ever had to deal with something like this, and I am at a real loss and almost in tears right now. I have been saving up for months to be able to get my significant other a great gift to help her in her career, a brand new camera, and I ordered one a couple of days ago on Amazon. As I ordered, I made sure it had signature at delivery because I have had other less expensive items stolen from my doorstep before and learned better. Fast forward day of delivery and I receive a notification on my phone that delivery was made with the picture and everything, and flabbergasted by this I rush home because I was an hour away at a dinner with friends. When I get home, the item is not there. I proceed to contact Amazon, who tells me to wait 24 hours. After that, I contact them again, and after 3 hours and 15 transfers later, the gist is we will open an investigation into the matter, come back in 3 days. But during one of the conversations, one of the agents told me they checked the tracking number and nowhere in the tracking was there any specification for signature required at delivery. I feel like I am being duped or lied to, because I have the screenshot that says signature required at delivery before I ordered. I don't know where this is going to go or what legal alternatives I might have in this situation, but any help would be really appreciated. Guys, I'm curious, did that ever happen to you? Here where I live, packages usually don't get stolen, but around Christmas time it can happen. Please let us know in the comments how it is for you. Update: Amazon delivered my expensive product without honoring signature delivery and it got stolen. I went straight to the police station once I could and was able to file a police report and made sure to get a copy of everything. I proceeded to call Amazon this time rather than chat and make sure to explain everything to them in detail, and also include the fact that I had filed a police report and was able to get them to refund my money. I just want to thank everyone who commented, especially those who advised me to file a police report and to call rather than chat with them. I feel it really made a big difference. Thank you so much for all the advice, and I wish you all a happy new year. By the way guys, how frequently do you use Amazon? We order pretty much everything on there, especially because we have Amazon Prime, and whenever there is an issue with the delivery, it is very easy to resolve the issue. Anyway, let us know your experiences in the comments. My roommate is accusing me of grand larceny. I've been forced out of my home and my belongings are currently being thrown out of the window and onto the street. New York City, I'm sorry if the text is one big block. I am on mobile, I don't really know what to say. I am baffled. I've been living with a new roommate for about 3 months. 2 weeks ago, my roommate accused me of stealing $3,700 out of his bedroom and swears up and down that it was me because he has footage. He also filed a restraining order. According to the police report, this theft occurred between the hours of 4 AM to 5 AM of August 22nd, 2019. However, during this time I was about an hour away from home and have receipts to prove it. I went to a 24-hour CVS and a bank that places me somewhere else. Not only that, but I was at the airport at 6 AM going on vacation. This was not me. I did not get word of what was going on until 3 days into my vacation and was told I was wanted for grand larceny and fleeing the country. As soon as I came back to New York on the 28th, I called the detective and set up a meeting. When I did meet with him, I showed him the receipts and provided him with my license plate to prove that I was not in the neighborhood the day of. He very much nonchalantly brushed me off and let me know he will get around to my case because he has more important cases to take care of. However, this is literally ruining my life. I have not been home since coming back and I've been staying with a friend. My roommate is literally squatting in the apartment and ransacking my room. I got a call this morning that he broke into my room and is currently throwing all my possessions out of the second story window. I am a student and cannot afford a lawyer right now. I am about to head to my apartment and I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to do. Any advice is appreciated. Guys, have you ever lived in a shared apartment with a roommate? If you ever had an awful roommate, please let us know in the comments because I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Anyway, the next one is obviously the update to the story from before. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for the support and the advice given to me. I did not expect such a huge amount of outreach. When I posted yesterday, it was just a jumble of words that I put together without putting in much thought because, well, I just got a phone call telling me all my things were being thrown out of the window and I pretty much panicked. For some context, I've been living in the same apartment complex for about 4 years. I am very well acquainted with the neighbors, security, superintendent, and so on. So, while I was away on vacation when the accusation happened, my roommate went around the complex to anyone who would listen that I stole $3,700, I am wanted for arrest, and there is a restraining order refraining me from even coming onto the premises. This is how I was able to get the information through word of mouth. So, from all the advice that I was given, I decided to check on this RO and could not find it at all in the system. Turns out my roommate merely just filed a police report and none of the things I was hearing was true. So I got to my apartment complex and a lot of my things were in garbage bags and was thrown out of the window. My things were everywhere, so I called the police. I let them know the situation and they came into the apartment with me along with my landlord. My room was indeed broken into and trashed. Many of my valuables such as my laptop, some sentimental jewelry that was given to me, shoes etc. were all missing. I was devastated. I filed a police report with the officers and stated everything that was missing and took a lot of pictures and videos like many of you stated. During all this, my roommate was there and it also looked as if other people started living there too. Turns out, my roommate is using this situation to now squat on the property, not pay rent and also brought other people and friends to live there as well. Unfortunately, because of this, there was no arrests even though all my valuables were missing and half my things were scattered across the street. The police said that because there is so many people coming in and out of my apartment and no witnesses, they were not able to arrest anyone. I was advised that this was a matter of civil, I think, court and I would have to settle this there. They also advised me that I could stay here, but they believed that it was not in my best interest or my safety to stay since he seemed violent and will be squatting on the property anyway, which can take months to evict. So they escorted me into my room to collect whatever else I had left and I am now still staying with my friend. As for my lease, my landlord is understanding and feels sorry for everything that has happened. We are mutually agreeing to end the lease without any problems. I don't really have a place to call home now and I pretty much have to start over since I was only able to grab clothes. Even if I did end up grabbing all my things, I would not have anywhere to put it. In hindsight, I feel foolish for being tricked. I guess this is a do-over, but thanks to all of you, at least I know the next steps to take and have some understanding of what to do, and I find comfort in that. Again, thank you. And guys, I'm kind of sorry that the stories here sometimes don't have a happy ending, but that is the case when you read real stories as opposed to many of the fake ones you can see on Reddit. In my opinion, for the most part, r/LegalAdvice is the real deal. Anyway, if you have watched until here, please don't forget to post some star emojis in the comments and also like the video if you want to support me. Thank you so much. Ontario, people are living in our just built townhome claiming they are renting but will leave for only $15,000. Police are not being helpful. What am I supposed to do here? Me and my wife bought a new townhome. It was finally completed last Friday. We did a walkthrough and were given keys of the finished unit on Monday and everything was fine. Today was our move-in day. We showed up before the movers, only to discover 2 women sitting on blankets in our living room. They got extremely defensive and claimed they paid to rent it and I called the police. I walked around the back and the patio door looks like it was shattered. The police came in and I provided them with all the paperwork showing we are the owners. However, he came back with a residential tenancy form that was apparently they both signed. Half of it seemed to be blank. The landlord's name is someone who I have no idea who they are. On top of that, the kicker is that apparently their monthly rent is only $250 a month. After about 2 hours of back and forth of this, the police officer gave us a report number and recommended we seek legal aid. However, he cannot remove them from the premises until he is able to talk to the landlord, who apparently no one can get a hold of. After he left, one of the women came up to my wife and basically told her they would leave for $15,000, no questions asked. I offered them $500 and she laughed at me. From when we were in there, the entire house already stinks of cigarettes and I am pulling my hair out because of this. I am trying desperately to get in touch with our lawyer. We talked briefly to building company and they told us as soon as they gave us the keys, it is not their problem. To clarify, I am in Ontario, Canada. Update to the Ontario story. Today they were forcefully removed from the property by the police. Our lawyer was somehow able to get a judge to look at everything and approve having them removed. The police officer basically told us to not move in and have the entire house professionally cleaned, as there is a bunch of needles and other things laying around. On top of all that, it seems they tried to seemingly destroy everything in our house. All the new appliances that came with our house are basically ruined. All toilets and bathtubs seemingly look like they have been smashed with a hammer. In some places it looks like someone tried to rip the effing wiring out of our walls, etc. Basically as a final FU to us. Our lawyer has basically told us the odds of us getting anything of value out of them is basically nil. I wanted them to go to jail for breaking and entering, but apparently it does not work like that. I hate humanity. That's honestly a horrible story, and by now I've actually already heard multiple times that it is indeed extremely difficult, depending on the country you live in, to get rid of these squatters. Did you ever have any experience with people like this? Let us know in the comments. Mother-in-law is suing for visitation. Today I was served with papers to go to family court so my mother-in-law can have visitation with my children. A bit of backstory, my mother-in-law is mentally unstable. She believes everyone is hacking her, me included. She is extremely paranoid and tries to brainwash my kids, telling them I am hacking her, that climate change is a hoax, crystals have healing power. Admittedly, the last two are no big deal, the first one is a huge deal. The wife and her mother had a falling out over the accusing me of being hacked into her phone. My mother-in-law expressed interest in seeing the kids. We told her if she wanted to see our children, she had to do so under our supervision. She then began gaslighting my wife by telling her me and my wife both have borderline personality disorder and told this to the entire family. Does my mother-in-law have any right to take my children out of my supervision? Does she have a case? Should I get a lawyer? If I should get a lawyer, how can I get one if I am broke? Any and all advice would be extremely helpful. Oh boy, the crazy mother-in-laws are coming back. But let's hope the community of our favorite subreddit is not coming back as well. Update: mother-in-law suing for visitation. We went to court for our initial hearing in February. I asked for dismissal citing Troxel v. Granville. The judge agreed that we were within our rights. However, she could not grant a dismissal because my mother-in-law requested an attorney. The judge advised she did not qualify for an appointed lawyer, so she should seek representation through elder law. My mother-in-law begins raising her hands and waving them around, asking if she could be allowed to speak. She states in court that me and my wife bully, abuse, belittle and swear around the children constantly. The first three are outright lies and the fourth, so effing what? She also stated that she never mentioned once being hacked or being obsessed that she was hacked, and that my oldest daughter was the one obsessed with hacking and spying. The judge made no comments and advised her that we were not keeping her away from the children and that she should seek relief by visiting them under our supervision. Fast forward to a week before the hearing, we have to meet with the law guardian for the children. We showed the law guardian all the insane conspiracy theory texts and the text where she accuses me of hacking her phone. She spoke with the children and we took our leave. The paperwork we received stated that my mother-in-law showed her a much different conversation. My mother-in-law had deleted the texts that made her look bad and copy-pasted several from my wife that made my wife look like a bully and that she was harassing my mother-in-law. The children outright denied any bullying/abuse and stated to the law guardian that my mother-in-law makes them uncomfortable because she is constantly yelling at them when they want to leave, she won't let them go, and she won't stop talking about who is hacking her. So obviously she supports our position. In the hearing, my lawyer asked for dismissal and requested we be paid our legal fees by mother-in-law as the petition was brought in bad faith. My mother-in-law's appointed attorney could not withdraw and refile an amended petition because mother-in-law would not let her, so the judge dismissed and awarded us our legal fees. I have not seen the judgment yet, but it is my understanding that it was dismissed with prejudice. However, my mother-in-law does not live in reality and is going to file another petition alleging that I have brainwashed my children. I wish that were true, they never listened to me. So I may have another update for you all shortly, but for now I will enjoy my victory. And no guys, I have to disappoint you, there were no further updates. However, in case I find anything in the future, I will keep you posted. The next story was posted by Donna on our subreddit and does not really fit the legal advice category, however it is just a cute little story to bring some variety. Anyway, it is titled "When One of My Cats Literally Saved My Life." Hey Ripe, here's a story of my eldest cat, Needy, who is 15 years old, when she saved my life back in about 2012-ish. Does not fit normal categories. First, here's my beautiful lifesaver, called Needy. Onto the tale. And here you can see Needy, and obviously she's cute as a button. I suffer from a multitude of very serious illnesses, and sometimes you catch a common respiratory virus and gotta see the doctor. Especially when you're asthmatic like me. I had come down with some little bug and the doctor prescribed me prednisone to nip it in the bud before it could send me to the hospital. I have a lifelong track record of common colds turning into intensive care unit visits. I have so many near-death stories. We'll tell those later if you want to know what being in a coma and life support is like. But that is not this story. Nope, it was not my asthma we should have been worried about, but my diabetes. Because, well, prednisone is a mild steroid and you have to be careful when you are diabetic with those things. My dog was aware of this but said it would be okay. Nope. Big nope. That night I took the first pill and went to bed. I was awoken by Needy digging her claws gently but firmly into my chest. Not breaking skin, but letting me know little sharp needles were getting my attention, while she incessantly licked my lips and nose aggressively. Like that sandpaper tongue was gonna sand my lips and nose clear of my face. Once she got me conscious, I realized there was something dreadfully wrong with me. It's hard to describe, but my insides felt fluttery, like I was shivering from the inside out. I felt so cold, like it was absolute zero and coats had not been invented. It was the most indescribable experience, and here I am trying to explain it and failing. I felt like I was also gonna faint again any second, so I called out to my hubby, "Call 911! Needy was plastered to me, not about to let me fall back asleep. By this point, I could not even form coherent sentences. The emergency responders got to me quick. I only lived 2 miles from 3 hospitals. They were trying to ask me questions and apparently they thought I was a Russian immigrant from the broken speech that I was attempting to communicate. I barely remember, I thought I was speaking clearly, but my syntax was channeling Yoda via the Kremlin. I was all over the place, they got me to the ER, and apparently that one tiny pill sent me into serious diabetic ketoacidosis. It is no joke, blood sugar should be around 100, American measurements. The ambulance folks tested me at 523, 5 minutes later at the ER it tested at 718. It was rising that quickly, 800 is diabetic coma, then death soon after because your organs just shut down. I was that close to meeting Mr. Grim Reaper. Again, my adverse reaction to prednisone was basically turning my blood into anti-freeze just from one tiny pill. My breath smelled like sweet almonds, and that's what Needy, my cat, noticed and figured out in her feline brain that I was not supposed to smell like that, so she made damn sure she woke me up and kept me conscious. If she had not by the morning, I would have been little more than a corpse. Can you say my husband and I spoil her rotten and cater to her every whim since? She very literally saved my life. There are no words to describe how grateful I am to a 9-pound adorable ball of prima donna calico. Without my little familiar by my side that night, I would not be telling this story today. Let's appreciate our pets, they are beyond special, and because one day they may rescue you. Needy is about to get some temptation treats as soon as I post this. She is one special kitty. Thank you very much for posting the story, Donna. That has gotta be one of the most wholesome stories we have ever read. Thank you so much for posting it. On the other hand, unfortunately guys, I hate to say it, but we reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's content, and if you did, please don't forget to like the video. Thank you very much for the daily support, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I see you again tomorrow.